Hi, welcome to my second YouTube tutorial on business objects web intelligence. Today we'll be covering crosstabs, grouping data and subtotals. And for the basis of our report we're going to use the eFashion universe again. As our objects we will select year, quarter, category, color, and remember, if you want to search for an object and you know the name, you can just type it in and it will go to the location automatically. Okay, and all we need now is a measure, and we're going to select sales revenue. We're not going to be bothered with filters at the moment because the data set in the eFashion universe is not very large. So we need all the data we can get to do a decent crosstab. Okay, so by default it will generate a vertical table. If I have a look here at the templates, you can select many different tables. You can have horizontal tables, a vertical table like this one, a crosstab, which we're going to do now, and a form. Also, you can create many different chart types, which I'll be covering in a later tutorial. So if we want to do a crosstab, you'll start off by deleting this vertical table, and then from our template section we just drag in the crosstab. Okay, and start off with putting some data in it. Start off with the measure, and then we're going to drag in our year object. Just drag it and drop it in the column where you want to display it. And then we're going to have quarter, and I'm going to drop that right underneath the year object. Okay, so we're almost there. We just need a category now. Okay, and this is our first simple crosstab. And what we want to do now is we've got about 3 years worth of data, and we're going to insert a subtotal every time the year changes. So we're going to highlight the year object, the year row, and then we'll click this button, insert remove break. And you notice every time the year changes we've got this column here. So what we do now is we're going to populate it with our subtotal values. We do that by clicking on the data and then clicking on the sum column here. Okay, so we've got our subtotals and a grand total here in the back, and we want to probably make the layout look the exact same as the columns that contain the quarters. The way we do that is we click on the column which has the format we'd like to use, then you click on the format painter button here, and then you click on the column you want to copy, you want to paste the format. Okay, and we do the same again for this one. Okay, now all we need to do is right align the data. So highlight the two rows, and then we select from this button here right alignment. Okay, and we're going to do the same for our grand total column on the right. So I select my format painter, and then I click on the column to copy the format, and I'll do the same again. Okay, and I'm going to right align this as well. Okay, so now we've got a decent crosstab. What we want to do now is we've got our categories, but I want to break those down by colors as well. So I'm going to drag this in here, and I want to show a subtotal for each time the category changes. So we got a total for all the colors within each category. So we highlight the category column, click insert remove break, and it's again like we did before. We are going to highlight the data we want to subtotal, and then click on the total column, total button. Sorry. Okay, and you'll notice that every time when I inserted the sum here, it inserted it added again another column. So we don't need this. So if we want to delete it, we right click, select remove, remove column. Okay, and again here it inserted an extra one as well. So right click, remove, and remove column. The last thing I want to do is center the year value across each of the breaks, so it just looks a bit nicer. The way you do that is make sure your year row is selected, and then click on the Properties tab, and under the break section there should be a field called Center Values Across Break. If you click this, you'll notice that the value gets centered in each of the breaks, so it looks a bit nicer. Okay, thank you very much for listening. The things we covered in this tutorial were crosstabs. We dived a bit more into formatting, grouping data, and subtotals. Thanks very much for listening, and look forward to seeing you again in my next video tutorial. Thanks.